When it's time. How do I know when it's time?
I think we just go me, you, in the camera, innit?
Yeah, no, but I want to know, is there like a... Super welterweight.
WBC International. I'll give you a nod.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
WBC International Middleweight title. WBC International 10 rounds. Yeah, Lima. WBC International. I'm up a little 30 Jim, I don't care, you know.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Sports Direct Oxford Street. It is the public workout. Clarke versus Wach is now the top of the bill. And in the ring right now, we have a potential banana skin for Aaron McKenna. His name is Wisma Lima.
Yeah.
What do you know about
Well,
him?
listen, he's a good fighter. I'm undefeated, 10 fights, 10 wins, 8 KOs, southpaw. And this is my first look at him. Actually, he can fight, man. He's got some good movements. He's using the ring well. Looks nice and relaxed. Yeah, look, Aaron McKenna is an excellent talent. 16-0, 8 KOs. You know, mixed at a high level as an amateur as well. But this guy's, you know, he's come to win and he looks good. Lima does look good. He looks fresh in there.
I've heard the whispers. You know, he's won in the UK already twice this year. He's been hunting for a big opportunity with a big promoter. He's finally got it. He must be very, very hungry, ambitious, and looks quite confident. You know, I spoke to him backstage. He doesn't speak the greatest of English, but his demeanor seems very relaxed.
He certainly does. He certainly does. Listen, he's come to win. He's been waiting for this opportunity, and he's come to win. So, you know, yeah, it's all about opportunity, and he's definitely got his opportunity here. Another guy that's got an opportunity to prove himself again on Friday night. Going over old ground, Anis Taj, a guy that you boxed before, stopped him in 4 rounds. He felt it was a little controversial, a little early, the stoppage. How you feeling?
I mean, I didn't make the decision. That's it, I didn't make the decision. I just hit him, his skin burst open, and the doctor said, you can fight another day, and he is. We're here today, so the doctor done his job.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saying in the build-up to this one that he felt that he was just getting into that fight. He felt that you started gassing a little bit, and he's going to right the wrongs of the last one. I mean, you know, we all saw the way the fight was turning out. The fight it was warming up nicely, going into a good fight. What do you do this time differently to what you done last time, or do you do the same?
There's only 2 things I got to do is keep my concentration. That's it. That's probably actually one thing. Everything comes off that. I just have to keep my concentration. I was hitting him easy. It was too easy. He hit me, caught my attention, hit me again, and then he's drawn confidence from that. And the fact that when I got off the stool, I looked very tired and fatigued. So he's not delusional. I see where he gets his confidence from, but it's just to be killed on Friday.
Sure. But now, what I'm going to ask you is, what is it like now? You know, the rematch goes at the famous Bethnal Green York Hall. We've boxed there. I've boxed there many times as an amateur. You get a special occasion there. It's something like this. Like it's the home of British boxing. It really is. And it always produces the best out of all fighters. You see them on these small hall shows, because there are a lot of small hall shows there now. and you see the fighters, and it's like every fight there is like a title fight. Everyone seems to give it everything. What are you expecting on Friday night? You've boxed there yourself before. You know what the York Hall brings out of fighters. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting the atmosphere to go off. I'm expecting it to pop off in there. Like, honestly, anyone that's there for a knees, you'll be able to hear them. Anyone that's there for me, you'll be able to hear them. And then hopefully everyone gets involved. You know, this is the thing. I think this is the fight of the night. I mean it. I feel like this is the one that's got the most needle. I think this is the one you can invest in the most. There's a story. We fought each other before. You have to be there to watch it.
Do you feel like Anis's aggression maybe is undoing in this? The fact that maybe he's even grown a bit more in confidence from the first fight, despite losing. Do you feel like that plays more into your hands?
I think so. I think he had success being aggressive in the first fight. So he thinks he has to be more aggressive. But he's just going to just be hitting shadows, man.
That's what it is with Anis. He's one of those guys that is unorthodox. He's one of those guys that is unorthodox. And when they're unorthodox and you don't know where the shots are coming from, they're the ones that are more difficult. And I think you found that out in that first fight. Like you say, he caught you a couple of times unexpectedly. And you think, whoa, sometimes you want to box a guy where you go, you know where the jab's coming from. You know where the cross is coming from. But Anis is one of those very unorthodox, awkward guys. And that always makes him obviously dangerous.
Yeah, you know, he's throwing punches from weird places, which obviously you're not normally accounting for, but I fought him before, so he's not awkward no more. It just is what it is. He just fights how he fights. I've had the privilege, he's had the privilege also, but I've had the privilege of fighting him. So I know what's going on, and it's long for him.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. See you at the weight. How's the weight?
Everyone, weight's great. Everyone, make sure. Sorry, I ain't leaving you hanging, bro. I'm not. Make sure. Make sure you tune in, man. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm telling you, people.
Agreed.
Yeah. Listen, that could be fight of the night. I'm telling you, man. Stylistically, and these guys, there's no love lost between these guys. But the difference with Anis, even though he's coming off that loss, is he believes in himself. He believes in himself, man, and like he's up for it. Do you know what I mean? And that's like, you know, he sees that. He wants that opportunity. Viddal obviously is looking at bigger places to go. He wants to, he wants to move through. He's on that development stage. There's a lot of talk about Viddal. You know, he's travelled. He's turned pro over in Vegas. You know, with the Mayweathers, etc. So he's got that experience of working abroad, like sparring abroad, etc. With all the big names. It's an interesting fight, man. You know, it's about opportunity, and he feels that he's getting that. And for Viddal, it's like, he can't afford any slip-ups.
In the ring now, we have Aaron McKenna, a very, very talented prospect. I call him a prospect. He's 16-0 with 8 knockouts. This is the man that will be facing Wisma Lima. And he looks, you can hear the sound in those pads. You know, he punches harder than his record suggests.
Absolutely. Listen, I spoke to Big Hennessy about Aaron McKenna, and he just says to me, listen, mate, you don't realise how good this guy is. Same thing, he's got a lot of experience on the road, sparring in different gyms, sparring great fighters, etc. Believes in himself, and he must believe in himself. Going in there with Lima, who's a good fighter, southpaw, you know what I mean, with a big knockout percentage, going in there with that shows you the confidence this young man's got. He's talking about titles. He wants the big names in that middleweight division. And again, you know, he can't afford any slip-ups going into this one. He's been calling out the likes of Liam Smith. That's where he sees himself right now. He sees himself at that sort of level. So it's a must-win situation for McKenna. And again, a great opportunity.
Right, Spence, I'm going to leave you because I think I have to get in the ring now.
All right, mate, you get in the ring. You go and do you go and do your thing. Like, so, Ben, can I borrow you for 2 secs? Just going to pull the promoter of the show in, Ben Shalom. Ben, how are you doing, mate? Not where have I been? Where have you been, mate? You've been travelling?
Yeah, I've just got back from the US last night, so I'm absolutely hammered, tired. Got in at 2 a.m., but great to be here. Great to be here. And listen, it's been difficult with Adam Azim being pulled off the card. You sort of left in a difficult position as a promoter where you have duties to the other fighters to make the best possible show, and Shaquille Thompson as well. We've been ravaged by injuries recently, and you have to make the best of it. And for me, Frazer Clarke headlining York Hall, a very natural headliner given his history at York Hall and what he's done there and how many fights he's had there. It feels special, and for Caroline Dubois as well, is in a serious fight.
Listen, yeah, it is a shame that top of the bill did fall out. You know, he's a hot prospect, Azim, and we was looking forward to seeing him, but you can't help those sort of things happening. credit to you for still, you know, allowing this show to go on. And yeah, it's gonna be good. Frazer Clarke gets that opportunity to move up against Mariusz Wach, who's an experienced guy. You know, he's boxed for the world title back in 2012, albeit against Klitschko, but done, you know, showed a credible performance more recently against Dillian Whyte out in Saudi Arabia, 10 rounds, and he pushed Dillian as well. To be fair, Dillian didn't look in the best of shape, but he did push him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this card.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, no, you're in the shop. Wow. That's live streaming, mate. That's what happens. Yeah, so you know, let's get on to McKenna now. Talking about McKenna, we just said there he's going in with Lima. Tough opponent, Southpaw, 10-0, 8 KOs. Yeah. Shows you the confidence that McKenna's got.
Yeah, huge confidence. I think him and his brother and his dad spoke very well of in Ireland. He's obviously only 23 years old, but he's had a lot of fights and he's ready to go. And I think he wanted Liam Williams, obviously he wanted the Shaquille Thompson fight. Maybe those are fights that we'll look at next. But to take Lima on short notice in a fight like this for the WBC international title, which is the one that he wanted, shows how confident he is, shows a huge amount of credit for him. Huge amount of credit to him for taking this fight, and it's what could be the fight of the night.
Liam Williams, he's the one that's doing all the marking. He's the one I want next after this for the WBC ranking. He's high up there, so I want to shoot him up, you know, put manners in him. That's but my sole focus now is this guy here.
Wisma, how much do you know about Aaron? How much have you watched?
Yeah, Aaron's a good fighter, I know. But I'm better. And Friday, you'll see this.
You have an 80% knockout ratio.
Yeah.
Do you feel like on Friday there's another knockout?
I want another box. If knockout come, nice.
Aaron, give me a prediction for this fight. He's obviously confident coming into it, and he has good reason to be. He's unbeaten.
Yeah, I always go in there for the knockout, and I believe I will knock this guy out. He's never ever shared the ring with anyone like me. My experience, my quality of fighting. I've been in the ring with all the best fighters in the world, amateur and pro. I've had that experience. We've never once came across someone like my level. And I've seen a few of his clips of his fights, and he doesn't like getting hit.
Do you feel like this is about levels and the fact that you've just operated at a higher level? He doesn't know his level yet because he's just coming through the ranks, but do you just feel like you've got too much for him regardless?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm levels above him, and I'm going to show him there's levels to this game. He's got a high knockout ratio, so in his fights he thinks they're all easy, but he'll be stepping up against someone who's going in there to take his head off.
Any final words?
Good fight Friday.
Looking forward to it.
Good luck to both of you.
Yep, interesting stuff there from Aaron McKenna. Shows his confidence that he's got taking on an opponent like Lima. And both guys are totally up for it. So just getting another couple of fighters in the ring right now.
For the vacant WBC International Middleweight Championship, Portugal versus Ireland. Wisma Lima versus Aaron McKenna. Presented by Boxer, live on Sky Sports.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm back.
Oh, you've joined me. Thanks so much for that, mate. Yeah, no, interesting fight, that one.
Do you know what? Usually I can tell if someone, you know, is just, yes, they're 10-0, but they know they haven't done it at this level. When I talked to him back there, he was very confident. It almost was quite creepy how confident he was. Then in the ring, I'm watching them do this face-off, and mate, they both really mean business. They both really believe it. Sometimes you don't know if somebody can operate at a level, but how many times have we seen somebody, you know, be asked that question? We saw it with Jack Catterall. You know, everyone asked, can you operate at that level? And he got there. Only way he can prove it is by getting there. Lima looks very, very confident, but if I had to put my £1 somewhere, I would put it on Aaron McKenna.
Listen, McKenna is the guy that's the more experienced of the two, the guy that people have been talking about, but it is about opportunity. and Lima gets this opportunity. He's been pushing for this for a while now, Dan, and he's got the platform. He's got the fight that he wanted. You know, he was calling for that fight. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
I mean, when I look at the statures, Aaron's obviously an orthodox fighter. He's tall, rangy, can bang a bit, but he wants to get you out of there. That is literally his style. And then you look at Lima, who's considerably smaller, a southpaw, not necessarily a pocket rocket, but he looks like he wants to. He's going to want to behave like one in this fight. I think that is one of those sneaky fights that could go under the radar and is going to be a really good fight.
Absolutely. Listen, we was unfortunate that we lost our top of the bill with Adam Azim. You know, the young hot prospect that everyone's been talking about. He's picked up an injury. He's actually here now, actually. He's just there. Yeah, no, but it's good that he's still supporting the show. We saw him last night. I had a good chat with him last night. Very unfortunate, but when you look at the undercard of this one, now Frazer Clarke moves up in a 10-rounder against Mariusz Wach. Good test for Frazer Clarke at this stage of his career. Mariusz, 43 years of age, been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, and if he fancies it, he'll push you. So good fight for Clarke.
Yeah, he's a big boy. It's a good name to have on a resume. I feel like he's been there for ages. He's been around Wach since who knows when. Let's bring in Anis Taj. Go on, let's talk to the cruisers. Come on.
Anis, how are you, mate? Firstly, you got the rematch you wanted. You know, back in February, it didn't go your way. You sustained the cut. The referee stopped the fight. You felt it could have continued. You get your opportunity again. What are you going to do different this time?
Little adjustments here and there, but the main thing is he didn't like what happened last time because there was a reason why they were pushing against the rematch. While I was told I need to be in title contention to get a rematch, so keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, listen, it was a fight that you was pushing for. You know, there's been no love lost between you two in the build-up for this one. You was having your moments in that fight. He actually admitted that you caught him a couple of times and made him. He says now he knows what you're all about because you're quite unorthodox and you're quite unpredictable, throw shots from unusual angles. He said, yeah, but I know that now going into this one. But I said, yeah, but you don't know what he's going to do different, what he's going to bring different. This is an interesting fight, this one.
Very interesting. Like you said, what am I going to do different? But the question is also, are they expecting something different? Because if they are and I come in with the same thing, it's a reverse. It's like reverse psychology. I tell you I'm doing the same thing, I come different. You're like, oh, we expected that.
It's different twist, isn't it?
But if I tell you I'm doing the same thing and you're like, no, he's telling us a lie, and I come in doing the same thing, then it's like it takes a few rounds to get.
You know what I expect, Spence? I expect this to be round 4. Genuinely, I just think this isn't going to be round 1. I think Anis knows what he did that got him success, and it was aggression, educated aggression. Of course, you can't be reckless with it. So I think he'll try and get on the front foot. And I think it's one of those I think that he thinks I think. I think Anis thinks that Viddal's expecting that. And I think Viddal is expecting that, but he's also thinking, but what if it's not that? It's one of those fights, isn't it? But really, I just think we're going into round 4.
Listen, I think, I'll throw my pennies worth in, I think this could be fight of the night. And do you know what makes a difference with this fight? And I mentioned this actually as well to Viddal. What makes a difference in this fight from the last fight? The venue, where it's at, the home of boxing, your call. What is it about that venue? You've boxed there in East before, a few occasions. What is it about that venue that brings out the best in fighters?
It's a coliseum. We've all seen it. You're in the ring here. You've got a balcony leaning over. You feel like you're in a coliseum waiting to go be fed to the wolves. You know, you've got the lions coming, you've got the bulls coming. So at the end of the day, I'll enjoy it. He's not boxed there as a pro. I've knocked people out as a pro there. I got my debut. I sparked the guy in 40 seconds. So I know what it's like when people are cheering for you. I know what it's like when people are cheering against you. So it's just another night. And the fact that it's at York Hall, my home, I say, I'll enjoy it.
Right, so here it is, right? Picture the scene. We've got like 1,500 people in there. The balconies are packed. Everyone's packed. He's got his fans there. You got your fans there. We're getting into the fight. 3 or 4 rounds into the fight, then it's getting hard because it's so hot in that place as well. You've got to take that into consideration. Weather's hot, and the York Hall is one of those places. What do you do different once we get into that round 4? Now you've got no cuts. What do you do different this time to get the victory?
I've boxed in heat before. I know what it's like. Does he? We don't know. He's He thought the last 3 rounds that we did in the first fight was hell. He thought he got taken into a fight. That was nothing. Wait till he actually gets taken into 4, 5, 6, if it goes that far, because I knock him out in 2. That's what I'm saying. But if it does happen to go a little bit later, how's he going to like when I keep my power throughout every round? I'll hit you as hard as I can, probably harder in the 8th than I hit you in the 1st. So it'll be all fun and games. I enjoy it. Let it get as hot as it wants. I boxed in Pakistan. I boxed in 45-degree heat. Your call is nothing.
Listen, the question I've got to ask you actually is, are you prepared to pick? Are you prepared that you could pick yourself off the floor? You've got to get down in the trenches. Have you got over all that in your head as well? That this fight, because this is going to turn into a dogfight at some point. We know that. Your style, you draw them in. That's where you're comfortable when you're sitting in the pocket. You know, Viddal's good. He's a good counterpuncher on the outside, but he can fight on the inside as well. At some point, you're going to lock horns. Are you prepared for all of that as well?
Let him come inside. Let's see how much good work he does. I'm a warrior. I go in. I'm ready to go down, get up. I've done it before. I do it again. We saw on the Boxer series. I got put down. I got up, come back harder. That's what I'm about. You put me down, cool. Do it again. The question isn't, will I get put down? The question is, can you keep me down?
And the other question is, what if he gets put down?
I don't think he gets up.
Nice. Well, listen. And he's, as always, mate, pleasure speaking to you, man. And look forward to seeing you again in a bit.
Thank you.
Nice, mate. Well done. Wow.
I like it. Honestly, I mean, it's the confidence, and he means it as well.
He fancies it. He fancies it.
It's weird, you know, when you lose, and you know, sometimes when you step up to a level that maybe you're not sure about, and you're fighting against somebody who, you know, everybody's making a big fuss about, and you get in there, and it is a close fight, and you feel, actually, you know, if I took that camp maybe a little bit more seriously, or actually, if I put my foot down, or maybe if I just had a little bit more belief, I could have won that. I feel like that's what's happened here. And I feel like maybe he went into that fight with belief, but he's come out with a loss, but with more belief.
Absolutely. He knows that he can hurt Viddal. He done that in the first fight. We saw that. I think it was round 2. He caught him with a couple of big shots. So he knows that he can get success. He says that he's trained harder than before. I know he's training Kieran Duffy very well as well. He said, you know, they've been through it now. They're prepared. They know what they've got to go through. And, yeah, he's ready for war. You know, he's ready to go to those places, those dark places that sometimes fighters have got to go to. And that's a big thing, because this is one of those fights that I think that the psychological game can play a part in the winner and the loser of this one. Who believes in themselves more? Because if we get into those later rounds and it's a case of then the technical side of things goes out the window, it's all about who can bite down on their gumshoe more, who can dig through, because it is going to be hot in there, and that is going to play a big part, because them boys are going to be feeling tired, man. I've been in that venue when it is absolutely boiling, and like, honestly, mate, it's not a good place. It's not a good place.
Let's talk about the one fight we haven't touched on yet. They will be working out at some point. Janina Lascano takes on our own Caroline Dubois. It's a huge, massive, monumental step up. One that obviously her trainer and her management team and her promoter wouldn't encourage her to take unless she was ready for it. But it's a step up.
Listen, fair play to Dubois. You know, I've said that it's going to be very difficult to hold her back because she is that good. You look at her amateur pedigree. She was very unfortunate in the quarterfinals She's very unfortunate in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. You know, I felt that, and the girl was the eventual gold medalist. I thought that she could have picked up that gold medal. It wasn't to be, but since turning pro, she won, on her debut, she won on points. Since then, she's been victorious another 5 times, all inside the distance. The girl's a class act, she's quality. She, you know, Lascano, she boxed for the world title just 3 fights ago. IBO world title, lost on a split decision, some say controversial. It's a big step up, a huge step up, man, but that just shows you the confidence in Caroline Dubois, shows you the confidence in our team, and I'm expecting a big performance.
She's ranked number 3 in the world behind Katie Taylor and Michaela Mayer. I mean, that's the, we're talking the top of the top here.
Yeah.
And for somebody who is 5-0, is it 5-0? I believe she is. Is she 5-0 or 6-0? She's 6-0. For somebody who is, that much of a professional novice,
yeah,
to make this step up at this stage in her career, is potentially dangerous.
Absolutely. Listen, it's a calculated gamble. Calculated gamble.
big man here.
Whoa,
Top
here
of
we
the
go.
field.
Here we go.
Gazers.
You know what? This geezer makes me nervous when he creeps up behind me like that. Don't do that, mate.
I don't know how he did it. It's like an electric car. He's just,
That was smooth. It was smooth. I hope your performance tomorrow night, Friday night is going to be as smooth as that. The way that coming in there was nice, man. It was nice. Listen, let's talk about.
Makes two of us, mate. It makes two of us.
Listen, let's talk about Friday night. Mariusz Wach, big step up. You know, like big step up. Me and you spoke about that yesterday. You know, you got to respect this guy. He's 43 years of age. Yes, he's been around a long, long time. Boxed Klitschko back in 2012. You know, pushed Dillian White in 2019. Pushed him all the way out in Saudi. The guy comes with credentials, and if he fancies it, he'll go for it. This is a calculated gamble from you, but also a great part of your development. It's a good name.
Yeah, it's time for me to take this little step up and time for me to answer a few questions, you know, in the ring. I feel like since I started pro boxing, I've had a lot of time with these microphones in front of me and doing a lot of talking. I'm ready to prove myself in the ring.
Yeah, this is what it is, Fraser. You know, speaking to you off camera when we speak and whatnot, you want that to be pushed forward a lot more now. You've got that extensive amateur pedigree where you went through like 3 Olympic cycles to get to where you had to get to. Do you know what I mean? You know, Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce and yourself, and you was waiting for that to prove yourself. You picked up a bronze medal, would have been gold had you not sustained that cut. You know, you just waited for that opportunity, and you've been doing it really as a pro, but you wanted to be fast-tracked a little bit as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and over them years, you know, I didn't learn everything, and I've got a lot to learn, but you pick up a thing or two along the way, Spence, you know what I mean? I'm not the finished article by any means, and I'm learning it all the time in the gym. But I think, you know, you learn, the way you learn is under the lights as well, you know, that's part of your learning, it's part of your apprenticeship. And I think with people like Mariusz Wach, you know, that'll give me some of the answers I'm looking for inside of myself. And I'm not trying to prove nothing to no one other than Frazer Clarke. That's it.
How important is it that this is a 10-rounder now? The fact that perhaps that British title fight didn't go ahead because even though we know you're good enough, maybe you hadn't had the experience as a pro that you might need in a fight like that. How important is it that this is 10 rounds, and do you want those rounds?
Well, listen, if them rounds come, then rounds come. But I've said this a million times today. If I see the opportunity to take him out, you don't get paid for overtime in this sport. And this man's a big man at any given time in this heavyweight division. Someone can switch your lights out. So I won't be trying to carry no one 10 rounds. But I know he's made the right stuff anyway. It's tough, so it's going to be a breakdown job. I think people talk about, oh, he's not ready for the 12 rounds. Tell me a fighter that you know that goes the distance and isn't tired. Everyone's going to be. I'm not going to be no different. Guess what? You have to have the knowledge in your head, the smarts to get around it. You've got to be a bit cute in them 12 rounders and 10 rounders.
Do you reckon it's a bit of a strange one? Because, you know, regardless of whether you've fought in 12-round fights under the lights, you've done it in the gym, you've trained for a 12-round fight. Do you feel like that is enough, or does it frustrate you that you have to kind of go one step at a time?
No, you know what? To be fair to everyone that made them decisions for me to not do the 12-rounder, this camp, I've understand the difference of training for a 10-rounder than for a 6. It's longer, it's harder, so obviously the fight's going to be longer and harder. So it was one thing talking about it. When you're actually doing it, I understand now, oh, this is what people mean. Your body's a little bit more sore, a little bit more achy, everything's a little bit harder and longer. So I do understand now, you know what? I'll hold my hands up. I was an eager beaver. Not that I wasn't ready, because I still would have gone in there, I would have won. But it's good to listen to experience.
But here's the thing, right? So I've done 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds. Built it up like that, right? When you get to the end of the when you're doing the 4 rounders, you get in the 4th round, you're tired. When you get in the 6th round, you get in the 6th round, you're questioning yourself, going, how am I going to do the 12 rounds? And yeah, your training does get slightly harder and whatnot, but then when you get the 8th rounder, you get tired. What I'm saying is the way you're programmed, right? And so when you get into a 12 rounder, you know you're doing 12 rounds, so you're programmed to do 12 rounds because the last 2 or 3 rounds is all about you biting down on your gum shield. Nothing to do with your technical side of things and everything. It's about the psychological battle that you have. That's with yourself and with the partner. Do you know what I'm saying? So going into a 12 rounder, from my experience, when I've done a 6 round, I went from 6 rounds to 12 rounds, right? As in, I only competed 6, and I thought, how am I going to do a 12? When I've done the 12, you just do it. That's what happens. You're programmed. That's what it is. You've conditioned from a young kid. You've been boxing for years. So doing the 12 rounds is just, I think it's a psychological, a mental battle.
And you know what the thing is, Spence, as well? Being a fighter yourself, and fighters find a way. You know, it's been the case in life, not just in the ring. You find a way. You have to overcome obstacles. There might be difficult rounds. There might be times where you look super tired. Listen, you find a way to win, find a way to do the rounds. I don't care how you do it, just do it.
Well, listen, you find a way on Friday night, mate. Looking forward to that, Mariusz Wach. You're needed in the ring now, Fraser. He's a wanted man. He's a wanted man. Good. See you in a bit.
Right, is that us?
No, it's still going, mate. We're still going. The boss said we're still. Yeah, I think you wrap it with him.
Phrase, so. Yeah. Well, then we keep going. Fighters are trained to keep going.
That's what we do, mate. Like, listen, I thought that was an 8-rounder we're doing.
Yeah, no, it's
a 12.
We got told in the 7th.
Yeah,
now you're doing 12.
Yeah. By the way, someone's fallen out of bed. We got to do a 12-rounder. That's it. That's how we roll. But yeah, look.
Now, attention all members of media. Frazer Clarke is in the ring for a media scrum. If you would like a chance to interview Big Fraze, please make your way to the ring.
We can get Isaac Chamberlain coming over now.
All media in the ring for Frazer Clarke.
Isaac, how are you, mate?
Good to see you again.
You too, bro.
Right, Isaac, we get you out. You're cool. Maybe it's not exactly what you wanted. You know, we would have loved to see you in Bournemouth, but obviously because of the licensing, you can't go past a certain time. Didn't do any favors, but you're straight back out there. How are you going to deal with the change of opponent, the change of everything, the change of time, and the change, basically everything I've just asked you in that ring? How are you going to deal with that?
Just adapt and overcome. That's what my camp's motto has always been. You know, the team's motto has always been adapt and overcome, and just be. That's it. That's all I have to do.
You know what? You're familiar with York Hall. You know, it's a place that you've sort of grown up. Yeah, absolutely. You're very familiar for that. You know, we've been explaining to the viewers here, like, you know, what it means to box at the York Hall. Like, it brings something different out of a fighter. You know, like you find the extra little bit. You bite down on the gum shield. Do you know what I mean? It's something about the atmosphere in there. Do you know what I mean? The crowd, the noise, the heat. Everything about you.
The fact that if you're in the balcony and you lean over, you can touch the red corner.
I know, but what I was saying is you're familiar with this venue and what it's all about. You're going in with a good opponent here. You know, you may have to go to some of these places, them dark places that fighters have to go to, but you're familiar with it. So that will make a difference.
That's nothing really. There's no difference. They already know what I'm about. They already know what I can do. So, you know. This is why we're in the game. This is why we're here. So I just can't wait to put on a great performance and just be the best that I can be.
I mean, being honest, we know everyone gets, you know, given the same questions and you just give the same answers. Is it a lot harder to get up for a fight like this than it is thinking for an entire camp that you're going to fight somebody else, perhaps for a title, etc., etc.? Then when it gets dropped down, you're fighting somebody that you look at on paper, but you haven't trained for this man. You haven't. This man hasn't been in your mind. He's now just a man. Does that change how you approach the fight?
No, never, because I always think it's never really about me against them. It's about me against me. So I'm not just trying to win. I'm trying to look sensational. So people are like, whoa, yo, this guy has really been putting in the work. And that's how I look at it. I take it day by day and think, what can I do today that's going to push me even further? And when you take a day at a time, it starts to count up. And that's just my mentality.
Going back to your last fight, back in, when was it? July of last year, wasn't it? July, against Chris Billam-Smith. Mate, you showed star quality there. Like, you went through everything. I'm looking at you as an ex-fighter and just looking what you was going through in those moments in that fight where you're biting down on your gum shield, you're coming back, you're giving it to him. You both showed incredible character in there. And that is fan-friendly, what you done in there, man. And for me, your stock rose on that performance off the back of that one. We get you in here again on Thursday night. Surely we got to see you in title contention. You know, you've seen these guys now. They're all doing, you know, like Okoli. Billam-Smith just beat Okoli and beat him well. And like you was having a ding-dong with him back there in July, mate. It tells you that you are world class.
Yeah, like the shots that drops Lawrence was bouncing off my chin. And it's like, it just shows that the only losses I've ever had, obviously they were at different times, where it's only to world champions. So that motivates me as well. Like, it motivates me to really push on and know, like, you know what? I can really do this. Like, I can really do this. So that's what motivates me to just keep pushing. And, hey, man, the sky's the limit. Remember, I'm the youngest out of all these guys as well, bro.
You've got time on your side. Let's talk about the potential British title fight with Michaela Wow. I don't think there is any update on it yet. I'm not sure if you have heard anything. It's what we're all waiting for, you know. When that fight was removed from the card, obviously, everybody was just like, oh, because we know that was going to be the fight of the night. Obviously, you know, we had a few very good fights, and the top of the bill was a very good fight. But that was the one people were looking at. Clash of Styles, you clash at the press conference, etc., etc. Any news, any whispers?
I'm hearing September. It's going to be in September. I'm hearing it's a big London show. Hearing it's either going to be London show or the rescheduled Eubank Smith. So that's big news. So just can't wait, man. I think take care of this fight first, and then, you know, in the coming weeks when I'm on holiday, I should get a text or a phone call saying, hey, it's this.
It'll be a text.
Yeah.
Where are you going on holiday? Where are you going on holiday?
I never book before the fight because you never know what happens. So, but I'm crazy like that. I'll fight on Friday, and when I'm back at the hotel, I'll book for tomorrow night, bro. And I'm gone for 3 weeks, bro.
You know what my problem is with booking holidays? I cancelled 3 last year. You know that.
Due to boxing, I'm guessing. Yeah, mate, I've lost a lot of holidays.
You book a holiday, and then like, oh, this show gets cancelled from there, and it gets moved to here, and then you go, really? You know you know what I mean?
Insurance. I've done it now. Just pay the extra £17. Just pay the extra £17. Free cancellation.
Nah, mate, it's 17 quid. You know how much that is? You can buy a pair of trainers in here for that.
I think they say £17.
Yesterday, I booked a flight, and it was the first ever time I booked with a refundable flight, because enough's enough. Enough's enough.
Did that feel good for you?
Felt great.
I guarantee you, if there's no changes, you'll be pissed that you done it.
Yeah. Invoice Boxer, mate. I just invoice Boxer.
I think that's like a free meal, isn't it? If you otherwise.
What does you know, between now and the fight? What does it look like for you? How close are you to the weight, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything is good. I'm just chilled. Just gonna go to the hotel, chill out. I think I saw in the hotel. I went to Google it. There's table football, so I'm gonna play table football with my friend. So just chill out.
Is it not tempting for you to, when it's a London show, stay at home?
Nah, because you know, when you wanna have the same environment wherever you go, like Manchester or London, like you stay at the hotel and you're in that mindset of focus. When you're at home, it's like relaxing mindset. You know what I mean? So
still getting asked to take the bins out.
You got your fight head on, man. I totally understand. I was exactly the same, like, because you get in that moment. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting. You're like, reality's kicking in. You're getting nearer to the fight, so you want to have like tunnel vision. Staying in the environment with all the other fighters, etc., is the right thing to do.
Good luck on Friday. I'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in. See you in a bit.
Thanks, man. Remember, get your holiday insurance.
Right, looks like we're having media scrum after media scrum. I'm not quite sure when we will see some of the others in the ring. They'll be here soon. What fight are you most looking forward to on this?
Do you know what, though? You say that, and then I'm going through the builder. I'm looking at the bill, and I'll go like, I'm really looking forward to Anis Taj versus Viddal Riley. Looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to Caroline Dubois. Also looking forward to Aaron McKenna. You know, like, it's a good card, mate. Like, it's a good card.
That TV segment of this show is very, very good. The one I'm most looking forward to is the one with the needle, of course, which is Anis Taj and Viddal Riley. But other than that, I am actually quite curious to see how Lima deals with McKenna, because, you know, they're both confident, both unbeaten. Lima comes in with a decent KO record, albeit it's only over 10 people. But I'm interested to see how that fight pans out. I do think Caroline Dubois will find another way to just outclass somebody who, you know, on paper should outclass her, essentially.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one, because Lascano is... she can fight, mate. She's got that experience, you know. She's been over the 10-round distance a number of times. Caroline's been 6 rounds before, you know, so it's a new experience for her. If she gets taken into those later rounds, Lascano's shown no reason why.
Is this a 10-rounder?
Yeah, 10-rounder, yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Hope I'm right about that one.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out there and say it. First 10-rounder.
Caroline, how many rounds is this? 8. Told you it was 8 rounds. 8, yeah. No, I thought it was a 10-rounder. Yeah, I know, yeah.
I suppose, in women's boxing, a world title was still only 10-2.
Yeah, no, do you know what? For some reason, I did think it was a 10-round. What I'm saying is Lascano's been 10 rounds on a number of occasions before. This is an 8. Caroline's only ever been 6. Stopped on her debut, and then she stopped everybody since then. So it's going to be a new experience for her. She's going into new grounds. It's an interesting one. It's a calculated gamble, but if my judgment is right, it's a good gamble because this girl is the future of women's boxing.
Boxing's all about timing, momentum, taking the right opportunities at the right time. It is a big step up, but it seems like it's the perfect time for it. Shane McGuigan is so confident in her. I guess that must be a huge confidence boost, knowing that one of the world's best trainers knows you're ready to go in after just 6 fights.
He's quick at wrapping hands as well. Look at that. Look how quick he is at wrapping hands. Wow, Shane, that's fast, mate. That's fast. That's speed there, right there, mate. Yeah, the speed right there, mate. Yeah, nice.
Caroline gets into the ring.
Always looks in phenomenal shape, you know what I mean? She's always in the gym. She's not one of those girls that, has the fight, disappears for a month or two. You know what I mean? She has the fight, couple of days, boom, she's back in the ring. Like she lives and breathes the game.
It's a boxing family, her brother.
We've got Daniel boxing out in Poland, haven't we, on the 26th of August against Alexander Usyk. Massive opportunity for Daniel as well. And it's success breeds success. Caroline looks up to Daniel, sees what he's achieving, and she wants a piece of that.
And this is the fight that will get her one step closer. You beat somebody like Lascano, and all of a sudden, you're putting people on alert. You belong at that level. Look,
Caroline's been talking about boxing Michaela Mayer. She wants to get into that sort of mix. This is a huge step up to that sort of stage. She believes she beats Michaela Mayer now.
That's said on record.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not sure if she said it on record, but that's what she believes.
It's on record now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what I'm saying is, it's only inexperience that's keeping her away at the moment. Not technical ability, not punch power, not durability. She's got all of that. Just inexperience.
And in a sport, women's boxing, you don't see many KO artists. You're sick of them, aren't you?
I'm struggling to see how these people are not seeing me speaking and the camera there, mate. It's just like doing my nutting. Anyway.
In a sport where there's not that many KO artists in women's boxing,
this is one.
This is one of those.
Her last 5 fights all come by the way of KO. She's only 6-0 now, but she's done it in spectacular fashion. When you see women's boxings, then sometimes they just sort of chip away and break them down. This girl's a big puncher. You hear them thudding in, boom,
It goes to the body beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of her success comes from going to the body.
Definitely. She's a big body puncher. And those shots thud in, they sink in. They're sickening punches, man. When you get hit with those, that just knocks the wind out of your sails. That's not a nice place to be. And yeah, she's brilliant at that.
Getting the gloves on. That's a star we're looking at.
Absolutely. One that could go down in history.
I think she does.
Good little turnout here today, actually. That's, shows that there's interest, even though this main event's fallen through. That was a good undercard at Fraser now being elevated to that main event. Shows that there's interest in that, though. This Sports Direct here in Circus, Oxford Circus. Is nicely turned out.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of people coming in to buy their shorts and their trainers, and they're just mesmerised that there's a boxing ring and cameras, and people weren't expecting this.
No, they weren't, mate. No, they weren't. Caroline now just getting underway. You can hear the sound of that punch hitting the pads already, can you?
She just looks razor sharp. Razor sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be technically superb to beat her, or you have to be an absolute dog, but she is.
You've got to be tough, man. That is for sure. That's one thing you've got to be, because she is tough. She's not just a good boxer and this is her opponent just walking past us now.
Having a scouting mission, having a look. And if we're being honest, you know, just watching this.
If I was her, mate, I wouldn't want to be watching that.
I wouldn't watch
I'm
it.
totally honest.
But this is what fighters do, and they believe in themselves all the time. Her opponent is tough, Argentinian, top level. She told me that after she wins this fight, and that is our translator who's just walked in front, she told me that she, after this fight, wants Katie Taylor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where they're at. That's where these girls are positioned. You know, Caroline Dubois, like I say, is a victim of her own success, really, because she's got to move faster than she probably would have liked to, because she's that good. But Lascano, yeah, she's there already. She's boxed at that level. She's boxed that, you know, for world titles. Felt that she was unlucky not to get that. She wants it. She wants it again. She wants to go in the mix with the bigger names of the division.
Super sharp with that jab there. Backhand to the chest. It seems like her and Shane McGuigan, like everybody with Shane McGuigan, if I'm totally honest, seem to work really, really well together. You know what?
They do. They work really well. They just gelled, and that's important. Boxer trainer gelling like they have done. You know, it just seems like a perfect matchup. Shane's a great trainer, and we've seen that. You know, he's pulled through great fighters, turned them into world champions. Chris Billam-Smith, more recently, was brilliant. That was a great performance against Lawrence Okoli. And, yeah, and he's trying to do exactly the same with Caroline Dubois.
Sorry, mate. Keep getting interrupted, don't we?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No respect here.
Yeah. You're a wanted man. Yeah, she's having a proper little workout there. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, listen, we're near fight night now. You know what I mean? We're a couple of days out. When the fighter gets to stage, you're not going to get any fitter. It's just about ticking over, making the weight right, and that's what she's doing. She's having, you know, she's going through the motions in there, but she's having a little workout. She's having a little sweat up.
As soon as she gets in the ring, there is that switch, isn't there? That it just flicks. Sweet Caroline, and then she goes through the ropes, and there is a monster on the other side.
Well, it looks like she's just finished that little workout there. We saw a little bit of what we're going to see on Friday night, and that is speed, accuracy, punch power, and great boxing IQ.
Yeah, it's the IQ, it's the shot selection, it's the fact that she wants to hurt you. She doesn't want to tap you. If she's tapping you, you should be scared, because you know what's coming. Yeah. It's coming.
She's not playing around. She doesn't throw. Yeah, she throws shots with intent, and that's like, you know, you see that with Caroline. Everything in there has got meaning on it. You know, a jab, a hook. So, you know, but there's a nice fluid rhythm about it. You know what I mean? The fluidity of the shots is key.
Gloves will come off and Yanina Lascano will get in the ring.
Have a word with Caroline in 2 secs. She's going to come over. Let's grab a quick word with Shane. Let's grab a quick word there. Shane, we were just saying the importance of a trainer and a boxer, you know, and that relationship, the way that they gel, and you and Caroline have certainly done that. You know, you brought her through brilliantly, but the importance of that the trainer-boxer relationship is key.
Yeah, definitely. Especially it's when you get to the top level. That's what you need that synergy, you know. But jumping about from trainer to trainer, getting yourself up to the top level, then when you're in a pressure cooker situation, and it's like, you know, it's in the balance of a round or two, that's when you don't gel and that's when you lose fights.
I mean, you've proved there, you know, we had that memorable night, you know, just a couple of weeks ago down in Bournemouth, Chris Billam-Smith. You brought him through, really, from the beginning of his professional career right through to world title contention. So you proved that you can develop and take fighters on that journey. That must have been magical for you.
Yeah, that was the most special one. Yeah, I've obviously took Josh Taylor straight from the amateurs into being unified world champion, but I feel like, you know, we've done it, and obviously with Chris, it was a big one. I think with Caroline, she's going to get there in world level very, very soon.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've just lost Caroline. Yeah.
Listen, you're stuck here with me. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Gone to Sky. I mean, what a joke. You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, no, look. How quickly, this is a question I wanted to ask you, right? She's now 6-0, yeah. Right? She won her first fight in her debut, knocked out 5 since then, looked sensational in doing it. I'm looking at the likes of like Michaela Meyer and people like that. How quickly?
She beats them all right now. She beats them all right now. Anyone from 135 to 140, she beats them all right now. That, trust me, I know.
How confident are you about letting her off the leash and letting her go for these title fights? Are we talking soon?
Yeah, I want her to fight Michaela Meyer. Listen, Katie Taylor's spoke about the rematch with Chantel Cameron, but she wants it at 140, not 135. If she was to have won, they would have done the second one, which is a weird scenario. But if that's the case and she wants to stay up at 140, then she's going to have to vacate some of them belts. And that's why, you know, that's the only reason why someone like Michaela Meyer will be enticed into a fight with Caroline Dubois, if it's for a world title, and hopefully put pressure on Ben Shalom, put pressure on the governing bodies to deliver, and let's do it at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the sort of fight, Dan, that we want to see.
In many ways, is this the perfect step-up fight at the perfect time? Because it is, you've got an opponent here who is, you know, ranked number 3 behind only Katie Taylor and Michaela Meyer. Is this a show of where Caroline is?
Definitely, and she lost in a split decision to Estelle Mosley, who's an Olympic gold medalist. So, you know, she wasn't a home fighter, let's put it that way, on that show. So that could have gone either way. And then the only other defeat that she's had is she's avenged a loss. So she's only been beaten once on a very, very close fight. She's big, she's strong. So yeah, we're going to see her do a little bit of pads here, but I just believe that Caroline's on another level to all of these fighters.
Yeah, it shows the confidence you got in Caroline's own ability to be taking on an opponent like this, like you say. Like, a lot of people felt that loss to Mosley was controversial. She was the Olympic gold medalist going in. She's the girl that people were talking about. And Lascano nearly upset the apple cart. She was very unfortunate. So she's come here to win, hasn't she?
Yeah, definitely. And look, I mean, people forget that I obviously trained Chantel Cameron for years as well, a couple of years. So I know how good she is, for instance, and she's the undisputed 140 champion. And I believe that Caroline's better than all of these fighters. So it's only a time will tell. We have to go out there and win on Friday night. But this is a perfect fight because someone's big, strong, who's going to push her back, but also walk onto a lot of shots.
Brilliant. Shane, look, we've got to kick you out, mate, for another one of your fighters, Adam Azim. He's coming in now as well. Always a pleasure speaking to you, Shane. Thanks so much, mate. Well done. Cheers. Cheers. Adam, let's go, mate. Talk to us, man. Talk to us. We was really looking forward to seeing you here on Friday night. You picked up an infection in your hand, and the fight has been postponed.
Yeah, the fight's been postponed. I'm very extremely gutted for this to happen, but everything happens for a reason, and God's the best planner. So you know.
Yeah, just want to quickly grab Caroline while she's here as well. Caroline, can we just quickly grab a word of you as well? Stay with us, Adam, because I want to pick that up, mate. But you look sharp in there. Lascano had a close eye on you. She was looking at everything that was going on. You was demonstrating some speed, power, technical ability.
Yeah, 100%. I saw her looking, so I thought, yeah, let me go for sure. And I made sure I was sharp, but I've been feeling sharp all camp, and this is just the peaking.
Yeah. Adam, you've been in the gym. You've seen Caroline performing as well. Is this girl good enough? Is she ready, like, now to win a world title? I know there's been talks of, like, you wanting to fight people like Michaela Mayer and that sort of level, that sort of caliber of opponent. This girl ticks all the boxes. She's been in there with the top fighters as well, but is she good enough now to win a world title, do you think?
She can win a world title with the eyes closed. She's going to be the face of women's boxing, I'm telling you right now. She's going to become the youngest world champion. I'll tell you right now, she'll win a world title this year.
Yeah. And how quickly would you want to move on that? Like, obviously, we've got to focus on Friday night because this girl is no joke. Like I say, she, mostly she pushed all the way. Who's an Olympic gold medalist, lost on a split decision. Some people said it was even controversial. So she's coming with credentials as well.
Yeah, she's coming there to fight. She's coming there for the victory. You know, when we call for it, she asked for an extra month. That tells me she wants to train, she wants to prepare properly. So I'm expecting a tough fight from her. In terms of where I want to move afterwards, I want to focus on this one right now, and everything comes off of it. If it's a big win, a devastating win, then I'm pushing on, and I'm pushing on quick.
Brilliant. Listen, Adam, I wanted to go back to you now. When can we expect to see you? Firstly, how's your hand, and when can we expect to see you back in the ring?
Hand's all right. I think the recovery process, we're going to see how it's going to be like, but I'm pretty sure I'll be out August, September time. But I'm looking forward to get back in the ring after, 2 world champions in the gym, Chris Williams-Smith, Ellie Scotney. I'm so eager to get back in the ring. They inspired me so much. It's such a pleasure to even be in the training session with them. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're only a young man yourself. You know, there was talks of you winning a world title before you was 22. Was it 22? Yep. Don't know how likely or unlikely that is, but one thing we can guarantee is that you are world championship material, and it is inevitable that you are going to become world champion.
That's my plan. That's my dream. That's ever been my dream since I was young. So I want to try to do that, but God's got something planned for me, so let's see what happens.
Brilliant. Well, listen, looking forward to getting you back in the ring. You're there on Friday night, right?
Yeah, of course. My brother's fighting, and Caroline, so I'm coming to support them. They're both going to get the knockout, and I can't wait for Friday's night.
Brilliant. Adam, as always, mate, thanks so much. Care, yeah? Brilliant. Yeah, well done, man. Well done. And good luck with the hand, by the way, as well.
Thank you.
Is it feeling all right?
Yeah, it's all right. It should be better soon. So.
Good. All right, wicked, man. Well done. Well done.
And I'm back in.
Take it away.
Fine.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting chat with the guys and girls there. Caroline, oozes confidence. She won 10 fights. She confirmed it. Michaela Mayer, bring it on.
Look, I'm having a close look at her opponent, who's quite unassuming. She doesn't look particularly fast, but I've heard from a credible source that she is a handful, and she comes to win. Stylistically, this could play right into Caroline's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. She looks like a girl that's quite elusive, hands down, throws shots from unusual angles. But she does look snappy. She looks in great shape.
I've got to get in there, mate. I've got to get in there, mate.
Listen, go and do what you got to do. It's a tough job.
It's a tough job.
Mami ven, la mexicana mami ven, mami ven.
Let's welcome back Savage Dan to the ring, who's going to be joined by our 2 co-main competitors, Yanina Del Carmen Lascano and Sweet Caroline Dubois, ahead of their co-main event this Friday from York Hall.
All the way around. This way.
Sweet Caroline, it seems like every time you're outside the ring, you're all smiles. You get in and you turned into a monster. It was quite a workout, speed, pace, power. Is that what you want to show us on Friday night?
100%. I'm coming in for a big win, explosive performance, and, I'm pushing on. I want to push on, so every fight, I need to come in there and give it 1,000%.
Yanina, this is a big opportunity for you. How do you make sure you take it with both hands?
Es una oportunidad muy grande. ¿Cómo va a ser usted para agarrarla con las dos manos?
Ya me ha tocado pelear con buenas rivales, así que me vine preparada para dar lo mejor y llevarme la victoria.
She said that she's fought with good opponents and she's very prepared ready to change her life.
She has fought with very good opponents, ranked very highly, only behind Katie Taylor and Michaela Mayer. Is this the perfect step up for you at this time? It's going to be tough to keep the training wheels on you because you are that good.
Yeah, 100%. I think she's ranked just behind Katie Taylor, you say, so this is 100% the one that I need and the one that I want. I need to take her spot. I need to take everything that she has, and, I want to push on. I want to be a world champion by the end of this year, early next year, so I've got to be beating girls like this, and I've got to be beating them well.
Speaking with Shane McGuigan, he's very confident that you win this fight, but he's also confident that you beat absolutely everybody between 135 and 140. What does it mean to have that kind of confidence from your coach?
This is what we want. This is what we need. It'd be a shame if Shane wasn't as confident as he is, but he is. He see me in the gym day in, day out. He see me sparring against men, against women that are bigger than me. I haven't sparred anyone my weight. I've been sparring girls that are 81 kilos, 75 kilos. I've been sparring fully grown, developed men, and I've been holding my own in there. So he knows how good I am.
Yanina, this is a tough test. You've obviously seen a lot of Caroline. What kind of fight are you expecting in there on Friday?
Visto mucho de Caroline. ¿Qué pelea usted espera?
¿Cómo?
Usted ya la conoce, ya ha visto muchas peleas de Caroline Dubois. ¿Qué Caroline espera? ¿Qué tipo de pelea espera el sábado?
Sí, estuvimos mirando un poco y no sé, yo creo que eso se va a ver ahí arriba. Sé que es muy rápida, pero son cosas que se van a ver en la pelea, durante la pelea.
She said that she studied film. They know that she's very fast and explosive, and that she's very well prepared and she's ready for her.
She's an opponent that's going to come to win. You had the option, the pick of a few opponents. You said that this style might suit you down to the ground. Do you think her aggression is what is going to play into your hands in this fight?
100%. I box better when people are coming towards me. When that way they can walk into the punch that I'm trying to wait for them and load up on. So I think it's going to be a great fight. Every time I step in the ring, I say it every time. I want to put in a good performance. I want people to leave the arena saying, wow, that Caroline Dubois, she's special. And I think me and Yanina, we can put that together. We can put on that big show and that big fight. Still the show. This is our moment. This is our night, and we're definitely going to take it.
Stoppages are fairly rare in women's boxing. Not with you. You went the distance on the debut, and everyone since you've blitzed. You seem to be very vicious to the body.
Yeah.
Vicious to the head as well. Are we expecting another stoppage on Friday?
100%. That's what I'm going for. I always step in the ring trying to give it 1,000%. I always get in there trying to look for a devastating performance. And this isn't going to be any difference. I'm going to come out here and I'm definitely going to go for the knockout. Whether it comes or not, that's up to Yanina, but I'm definitely going for it.
Yanina, you're obviously coming with ambition. What happens if you win this fight? What do you want next?
Viene con mucha ambición. ¿Qué pasa donde gane?
Sí, la verdad que sí, venimos preparados para ganar y bueno, y si gano, después se verá cómo seguimos. Primero es esta pelea, después los demás.
Okay, she said that first this fight, we'll get it over and done with. She's very well prepared for this fight and ready for it all.
As I've said, it's going to be very hard to hold you back, Caroline, because you are that good. In reality, how long and how far off do you feel like you are off the world titles, the world champions, the big nights?
I've always said it, end of this year, early next year. That's when I won the big fights, the big names. I was at the O2 where it was a women's only show, and the intensity there, the levels that were on display, that just gave me goosebumps. That gave me, the motivation that's where I want to be. I want to be involved in what people are calling 50-50 fights. So I'm saying by the end of this year, early next year.
Good luck to both of you. Good luck Friday.
Muchas suerte.
This is our co-main event this Friday from York Hall, live on Sky Sports. The reigning South American women's lightweight champion Yanina has come to England to challenge London's own undefeated Sweet Caroline Dubois.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting fight, this one. Big opportunity for Caroline Dubois against former world title challenger Lascano. And she's come to win, as we've seen there in those open workouts. She looks good. She looks quite elusive, hands down, but she's got a little bit of snap about her shots as well. But if my thoughts are right, I think Caroline Dubois is the future of women's boxing. I really do. I think she is that good. And I think we're going to see something special on Friday night. I think we're going to see a big performance.
We move to our heavyweight main event this Friday from York Hall, live on Sky Sports.
Yeah, well, they're just calling in the main events now. Big Frazer Clarke gets his opportunity to top the bill against the experienced Mariusz Wach at the famous York Hall in Bethnal Green. We caught up with Frazer earlier on, and yeah, he's happy about this opportunity. He's been moved up to 10-round level. Gives him a chance to get that experience against an opponent who we know, if he fancies it, he comes to win. Oh, thank you for joining me, sir.
He does come to win. It gets heavy, innit?
It does. There he is,
He's big boy. Been there, done it, bought the t-shirt, wore the t-shirt, still in the t-shirt.
Yeah, this guy, listen, you give him a little bit of confidence and he'll grow into that. You know, he'll grow into that. That's what he done. We saw that great performance he put in more recently, because I've talked about the Klitschko stuff and all the other big names in his box, but, you know, I know Dillian Whyte was out of shape in Saudi, but he still put in a credible performance against Dillian. He made Dillian ask some questions. What I'm saying is Mariusz is one of those fighters that if he starts getting into a rhythm, it makes life difficult. You know, there's a lot of unknowns about Frazer Clarke and where he's at this stage of his career so far. So, great test for him.
Good to get the 10 rounds in as well. Mariusz would have done the 10 and 12s time and time and time again.
Mariusz has been boxing 12-rounders for over a decade. You know, he's been boxing there a long, long time. I say boxed Klitschko back in 2012 as 12-rounders then. So, yeah, it's been going for a long, long time. So this is nothing new to him. This is all about Frazer Clarke. Can he deliver? Can he go to 10 rounds? You know, he's never been anything like that. He's been 6 in his career. That's as far as he can go. Well, let me tell you, mate, from going 10 rounds, how hard that is. So, you know, when you get into those later rounds, it's tough, man. It becomes a mental battle, psychological battle. It's not about your skill set. It's about, you know, Mariusz Wach's been there before. So he's not going to a place where he's got to ask himself questions. This is all about, you know, finding out just how good Frazer Clarke is and if he's good enough to go on to championship class.
I guess the real question is, can Frazer Clarke break him down and get him out of there? This will, you know, we know Mariusz is coming off a win, but it's not the same Mariusz that there would have been fighting Klitschko in 2012. Does he have enough to break him down, get him out of there? Is he fresh enough and young enough and explosive enough to do it?
That's $1 million question. $1 million question. Can he chip away? Can he do that? You know, I know that he's got the ability to do it, Frazer, but it's just seeing how durable Mariusz is. You know, he looks good up there. He looks fresh. He looks confident. Yeah, he does. Happy fight is a dangerous one. So, you know, he'll see this as an opportunity for himself. But this is all about Frazer Clarke, really, and seeing, you know, where he's at. I think that's where we're at with this right now.
Gloves are going on. He's done this over and over again. He will not be fazed by this. He will not be fazed by York Hall. As far as he's concerned, he's come to do a job.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's been there, hasn't he? He's been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt. Coming to the York Hall and boxing a 10-rounder is not going to be no big surprise to him. Not a problem. But what will be a problem is the heat in there. the crowd, the noise, all of that. You know, that'll be something new for him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
The gloves are on. Let's see what he has to show us. A big talent, Mariusz Wach in his day.
Listen, he's a big guy, man. He's been active. He's coming off a victory, and he's going to fancy it. You know, it's not like he's had any inactivity through his career. He's one of those guys that's like, you know, he's tough, man. You get those that come along every now and then. They don't sort of see some fighters fade quickly. Mariusz is still operating at a good level.
A lot of know-how there, you can see. Nice, solid double jab.
Looks sharp, looks nice and relaxed, nice and composed.
There's no tricks, there's no bells and whistles. It is the basics, but it's the basics down to a T.
That's exactly what it is. That's what he does. He does everything good, nothing special, does everything good. There's a solid, big solid look about him, you know. Don't know if you've noticed how big those trainers' pads are as well. Have you seen that?
Absolutely huge.
It's a new one. That's a new one for me.
It's almost as if you can't miss.
Well, no, that's exactly it, yeah.
There is a much smaller target right in the middle. I'm guessing you want to make impact right in that little small orange circle.
He looks sharp, I've got to say. He's putting the shots together really well. Looks nice and sharp in there.
Winging in a big right hand now. Lovely watch. Azura blue. Still just going through the motions. It's very important that Frazer Clarke asserts himself on this fight immediately.
Absolutely. Has to stay switched on. He needs to assert himself early, take that confidence away from Wach. Don't let him build the confidence, grow into it, because he's the type of fighter, if he does grow into it, he's a difficult guy to beat. You know, so you've got to take that away from him straight away.
Working up a sweat. It looks like they're definitely still working on certain things in there. What's the right hook, left body shot. They say the power is the last thing to go.
Well, that's true.
You're proof of it, mate.
Absolutely. I am, mate. The power is the last thing to go. Punch resistance is one of the first. but he's still got plenty of durability.
Yep.
You know, so he's still pretty much in his game, still operating at a decent level. But yeah, you don't lose that power, man. Yeah, there's 7. Give me that.
Frazer is about to get in the ring, and his pad man is none other than Spencer Oliver, putting on the Hirachis right now as we speak. The Hirachis, mate. Oh, he's gonna break him. He's gonna do the pads for Frazer Clarke. The hat is now off. And it seems to have shaved around 10 years off him. Good little shakeout from Mariusz.
He's going to have a skip.
Frazer's put on the not Fraser. Spencer's put on the shoes for no reason.
He is top of the bill this Friday, live from your call. Entering his first 10-rounder as a professional. He comes to us with a perfect, undefeated record of 6 victories, no defeats. 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Burton up on Trent, England. Here's the Olympic bronze medalist and the Commonwealth gold medalist, Big Frazer Clarke.
Frazer Clarke climbing into the ring, top of the bill in his first 10-round fight. As he said to me and Spence earlier, he was somewhat ambitious, maybe over-ambitious, in wanting that British title fight this soon, only having done 6 rounds. But he's listened to the people who have come before him, the people with the experience, and understands that it's more beneficial for him to go through the tiers and through the ranks the proper way. And we have it here.
To the show to watch him fight and headline the card this Friday from your call.
Top of the bill, Spence, what do you expect?
I'm expecting a good fight. I'm expecting a good fight, to be fair. It's a good opportunity for Frazer Clarke, getting that experience of boxing on the top of the bill. It's going to be mad in there. I expect Frazer to get the job done. How he does that, probably goes points. If he can get Wach outside of there, inside the distance, then that's a good performance.
It's a big statement, isn't it? Yeah, because Wach doesn't get stopped often. And he's a big boy, tough. He took the hat off, and honestly, there was a beautiful head of hair underneath there. And, it shaved 10 years off him straight away, and I thought, oh, maybe he doesn't get the stoppage here.
Yes, he's got some big head as well. It's a very large head, man. He's a big guy, very big guy. So have a lot of hair on that head. Yeah, I understand.
Frazer just having to move around. I understand you were almost called in to do the pads, but he said, Spence, I can only throw body shots at you.
Mate, no, I was ready to take the Versace sliders off. and get in there, man. But I only had a cheap old pair of Hitachi things, so you know, so yeah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But no, I think Fraser wanted to be comfortable with his own trainer. On a serious note, Angel has not turned up. I think he's running late, caught in traffic or something. So yeah, it's frustrating for Fraser, and I understand what he was saying there. Even though I told him what a good pad man I was. You know, I had to say to him, listen, like, it's going to be a new experience, a good one. You know what I'm talking about.
It could change everything.
Absolutely. You know what I'm talking about.
Having a stretch and a skip and a move around. The hard work is already done from camp. He said this has been his toughest camp.
Just going through the motions now, you know. This is, like I say, it's an opportunity for Fraser. This is like, he's at that stage of his career where these are all the exciting fights. Mariusz has been there, seen it, done all this. You know, for Fraser, this is all a new experience, and yeah, great opportunity for him.
To headline in your 6th fight is quite something.
It's massive. It's huge. Adam Azim done it more recently on a Sunday show, but for a heavyweight to be headlining in his 6th fight, it's a huge thing, mate. Yeah, so yeah, it's great for Fraser Clarke. You know, this is what he's wanted. You know, he's been around a long time, man. Like, you know, he had to wait through 3 cycles of the Olympics before he could get his shot. Because Anthony Joshua got the first one, then Joe Joyce got it above him. He stuck at it. You know, he waited for that opportunity, and he got it, and he was unlucky not to win the gold out there. He really was. Picked up the bronze. So he's ready now. His apprenticeship's been done. Do you know what I mean? It's just about getting the experience, the rounds. Mariusz Wach fixed the bill, ticks the box. Perfect guy for that.
Good name, good resume, everything you need. Gives you all the experience. Hopefully you get I guess, you don't get paid for overtime, but hopefully you get the 10 rounds.
Absolutely. Listen, I think it'd be good for him to go to 10 rounds, you know, or get in there, certainly go into the late stages of the fight anyway. I think that would be very good.
Looking nice and focused. Trimmed down considerably since his first professional fight. I feel like he looks like he's in good shape. Every camp he's getting stronger, getting fitter.
Yeah, he is. He's improving all the time, you know. Amateur game, professional game are 2 totally different things, man. Even though he was boxing in the WBS and all that, like, where you're boxing without the head guards and whatnot, that puts you in a good place. And he's done a lot of that as well, you know. But, yeah, it's all about getting the rounds now. That's where he's at now. So it won't take a lot of development for Fraser. He'll be there. Once he gets the rounds under his belt, he's ready to go. We'll see if he's good enough or not. And it's as simple as that.
I think that will be it from Fraser. I will get in the ring and we'll do the head-to-head.
Yeah, a little correction there, not his 6th fight, 7th fight as well. Yeah, get in there, see what he's saying. Listen, we spoke to him earlier on, and he knows what he's going into. He knows what it's all about. He's got that experience, and he seemed nice and relaxed, to be fair.
Yeah, he said, you know, the time for talking's done. I feel like, you know, his name's been in a lot of conversations recently with Adelaide, with Fabio Wardley, you know, and he's eager to get to that level. But I think he understands that this has to be the way it's done. You know, you have to go through them at the times where you go through them. Some of these other boys have got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 fights. And Jerome was there.
Absolutely. Listen, you mentioned a couple of names there. You know, that's where he's at, Fraser. He's fast-tracking them sort of people. He's looking at British titles in the near future because he's got all that amateur pedigree, all that experience. So I think Mariusz is the perfect opponent at this stage to give him the rounds that he needs.
I agree. I definitely do.
All right, you get up there and catch up with Big Fraze. Well, as Dan just gets in the ring, just to catch up and have a little chat with Big Frazer, it is a massive opportunity for him. That is what it's all about, man, opportunity. Frazer's got to take this with both hands. Mariusz Wach is a good, experienced opponent. Been around the block, been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt. He doesn't look phased at all. He looks in good shape, but let's cross over now to Big Mo.
Be joined by our two halves of the main event this Friday from York Hall in the heavyweight division, Mariusz Wach and Frazer Clarke.
This is our top of the bill, Frazer. This is what dreams are made of. You know, you said earlier this week you are living a dream. You were amateur for quite a long time, turned pro, and now you're headlining at York Hall.
Yeah, top of the bill at York Hall, historic boxing venue. I've had some good wins in there. I've lost an ABA final in there, but it's steeped in history, my history, and every boxing fan in the UK's history, definitely. So, pleasure to be in there, an honour, and yeah, great card.
You're in there this time round with a very experienced Mariusz Wach. This is a man who's been there, done it. He's fought for world titles. He's done 12 rounds and 10 rounds time and time again. This is your first 10-round fight. How different has it been training for this camp?
Yeah, it's been very difficult. You know, I think we all know about the outside noise that was happening, but I've took this fight very seriously. Mariusz Wach, you know, a very good opponent, coming off a very good win. So I take this seriously. I've been in the ring with him before, and you know, he's very good at what he does. He's very experienced. I got full respect for him, but you know, I'm here to do a job, and I plan on doing that.
Mariusz, he's mentioned it there. You have all the experience. You've been here before. How ambitious are you? Do you still want to get back to that top level of boxing?
Czy nadal masz inspirację, żeby walczyć o pas i być na tym najwyższym poziomie?
Tak, dlatego tutaj jestem. W piątek stoczę ciężki pojedynek z Clarkiem. Na pewno z kawał solidnego zawodnika. Na pewno stracę mnóstwo zdrowia, ale przyjechałem tutaj po zwycięstwo i dam z siebie naprawdę wszystko.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a tough task, but I came here to win. I know I'm probably going to get hit with a few solid shots, but I'm not going to back down, and I'm here to win.
Is this the perfect type of opponent for you at this stage in your career? You know, a big name, he's been there, done it, can potentially take you to rounds.
Just then, you know, that's got the juices flowing. I've came to win. That's the words I've wanted to hear from the get-go. We know about the opponents. We've all talked about it. We've gone over it. It's give you lot something to talk about. Oh, it's been bad opponents this, bad opponents that. That doesn't take away from what I've been doing the last 20 years of my life. Like I say, much respect to this man. And yeah, he's absolutely correct. There will be solid shots going in. And I expect solid shots back. A competitive fight, a good fight, and I hope it entertains everyone.
Is this one of those fights where you'll have to chip away at Mariusz? He's big, he's strong, he's tough, he's durable. Is this a fight that you see going the distance?
If it goes the distance, it goes the distance. I'll take this round by round. Mariusz Wach has seen many heavyweights in front of him. He's seen many people bigger, stronger, fitter, faster than Fraser Clarke, but never me on the other side of the ring. So I'm confident in my ability, and I know what I came to do. But yeah, he would have seen a lot. But I'm here to do a job. Like I keep saying, I'm confident in that job. I'm confident in myself and what I've been doing. Forget all the talk and the humbleness which I've talked for so long. I want to let people know that I'm here to and I mean business. You know what I mean? I want titles. I want world titles. I've not spoken about it. I've talked down about it for a long time, but the doubts that I've had in me, especially over the last month or so, it's brought something out inside of me, and I think it needed bringing out, and now it's here. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
Mariusz, how good is Frazer Clarke, and how confident are you of beating him?
Jakim zawodnikiem w twojej opinii jest Clarke i jak jest dobry?
Jego rekord co wskazuje, tak? 3 amatorski, 3 zawodowy, brązowy medal na olimpiadzie, więc tą przygodę z boksem amatorskim, ogólnie z boksem ma dobrą, doświadczony, dobre podstawy. W boksie zawodowym wiadomo, jest jeszcze na początku tej kariery, tak? Stoczymy. Mieliśmy na mniejszym dystansie, ale niestety dystans jest 10-rundowy, więc to na moją korzyść wszystko wpływa i myślę, że to doświadczenie w tym ringu gdzieś tam w późniejszych rundach będzie owocowało.
Yeah, we studied these fights. We know he had many amateur fights. He fought at the Olympics. I'm expecting a tough fight. We were supposed to fight 8 rounds, but it's now going to be 10 rounds, which I feel like will play to my advantage. So, yeah.
It is a 10-rounder. What part do you think that will play? You know, you obviously have trained for it before. You've asked for the British title fights, which are 12 rounds. You feel like as though you are ready for 12 rounds and 10 rounds anyway.
It's a fight, and fighters find a way. You know, no excuses from me. I've been training well. I'm prepared for the 10 rounds. He may be right, you know. It might work to his advantage. He has done a lot more rounds than me. It means nothing. It means nothing. What you've done before and what's gonna happen Friday night, it's a different thing. We prepared well, and that's the main thing, you know. I look forward to this fight. You know, there's a lot of Polish brothers and sisters in Burton-on-Trent that will be watching the fight. They're going to cheer the fight on. Some will cheer for Mariusz. Some will cheer for myself. But I'm pretty sure we'll bring the fireworks, and it'll be an exciting fight.
Any final words to each other? Any final words?
No disrespect. You know, this man is a good pro. I have no disrespectful words to say to him. This is true competition between 2 fighters that both want to win, and you lot, the fans, are the lucky ones.
Mariusz, do you have a message for Frazer or for anyone at home?
Jakieś ostatnie słowa do przeciwnika, do kibiców w domu?
Jestem tutaj, żeby z Frazerem dać naprawdę kawał dobrego boksu, żeby ta walka zapisała się w pamięci kibiców.
I'm here to put on a hell of a show. I want this fight to be remembered and the fans to be entertained. That's it.
Good luck to both of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our heavyweight main event is set for this Friday, live from York Hall. Presented by Boxer, promoted by Ben Shalom, live on Sky Sports.
Well, as we heard there, both guys were very respectful of each other, and so they should be. They both achieved a lot in the ring. Frazer Clarke as an amateur, Mariusz Wach has achieved so much in the ring as a professional. Both guys showing that respect now. Listen, guys, you can catch us on the live stream from 1 p.m. tomorrow, and that's for the weigh-in, and that's live from the York Hall in Bethnal Green. And you can also come down there. It's an open way-in, so if you want to get yourselves down there, it's open to the public. Try and get down there if you can. If not, catch it on the live stream before the big fight on Saturday night. Friday night.